What's good, everyone? I had to get back in here because a rookie was holding my damn live. You can't get certain people to goddamn, assist when they don't know what to push or any of that. The audio was sick, decrepit, poor quality, distorted. But so I had to come back on here, right? World Combat Sportsman, back at it. Bill Haney was on life support today. There's no other way to say it. Sometimes you have to be very careful about pulling up with the same narrative because it's actually people out here that do research and take it a step further and have receipts. Audio receipts are vicious. You know what I'm saying? Audio receipts are vicious. And if you ask me what I'm talking about, just pay attention to what I'm saying. When we keep talking about the recent events that happened with Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko, there's too many boxing groups from what I'm seeing, and everybody else has been discrediting, devaluing the fact that Teofimo Lopez went in there and got the job done. Now, if I hear Bill Haney says they chasing greatness, right? I'm looking at it like, okay, I understand you chasing greatness. You've been around some great people. I get it. I totally understand. But you all claim the fame was Vasily Lomachenko duck Devin Haney, in which it's been out there for quite some time that it was never a solid scheduling abided by contractually that Vasily Lomachenko was set to face Devin Haney as a mandatory. It was never out there, right? So due to Punch Drunk, shout out to Punch Drunk, he provided some audio to debunk everything that's going on about who's the WBC and why this is looking. You all are directing all that negative traffic to the wrong person. You should direct that traffic to Mauricio Sulaiman, period. Because he's on record as saying that Teofimo is the ruler of the lightweight division. What else do y'all need, people? I'm just curious. What else do y'all need to redirect the target point of devaluing Teofimo Lopez's credit for going in there and getting it done? Now you want to say, okay, keep it real. I like the smoke and everything like this. I don't think everybody likes the smoke. I don't think everybody likes the smoke, especially when it's about their popular boxer. I usually keep it just down the middle, but people don't like down the middle. It's like walking up on the broad, you got this special night and it's about to pop off. That's the kind of down the middle I like. I know the expectations there, we vibe and everything is cool. But on this social media bullshit, people claim that they want the smoke. They claim they want you to be non-biased. But in actuality, the reality of it, they want biasness. And a lot of people have been boosting Devin Haney up to face Teofimo Lopez as if Teofimo has no credibility to going in there, fighting 12 rounds, superbly, masterful, against the top pound for pound, which no one was giving Teofimo Lopez credit to go in there and accomplish what he did. But he did, people. He got it done. His dad said, hey, we'll be champion at 15 fights. Boom. Stops Richard Comian's 2 rounds. Goes in there and put on a masterful performance against the top 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the freaking world. Now it comes to a point where after hearing the receipts that was given by Punch Drunk, right, which has been out here for some time, but this is what I'm talking about when people pull up over and over again, and people really don't want to pull up those receipts because they more so, they want to keep the rapport and everything. Well, that has nothing to do with me. The reason why is because if you having a mouthpiece out there that keeps spinning the same narrative, today, the way you was drowned, it was meant to be. Because he had you up on the water. No life jacket there, Bill. No life jacket. This don't have anything to do with personal. I mean, me and him the same age, man. He know what it is. He said he liked to smoke and everything like that. Look at it this way. When you have receipts, audio receipts being presented, and they're debunking everything that out here that Devin Haney was the next in line, and you know, all of a sudden, you know, he was chasing greatness, and Teofimo Lopez ducked him to go the IBF route. And then, you know, right now, every time the conversation come up about Devin Haney being elevated to the WBC title, you act like the E word is something of a foreign language. The E word is the absolute truth. He was elevated to the WBC title holder. He is legitimate, the WBC title holder as we speak. He defended it, right? But the way he received it was absolutely a SMTP. Simple message transfer protocol. Somewhat, some people identified as freaking email. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, to a point, because he's identified. You have people like Floyd Mayweather out here vouching for Devin Haney in a way that he's diluting. Once again, he's sending subliminals out there as TBE now. He's TBE, but yet he said that guy. He wouldn't even acknowledge Teofimo Lopez's name. And that to me is just pathetic. It shows a bit of reduced class when it comes to somebody who's did it the way Floyd has done it, just so he can highlight his own fighters. He said Tank has the WBA belt. Was Tank trying to fight Lomachenko when he had the WBA belt? I mean, am I missing something here? When Devin Haney was stepped in there with Abdulayev and Santiago having half the reduced experience on the professional stage, a very dense skeleton appearance over here in the US when he came to fight. I mean, that's just criticism, constructive criticism, right? I mean, factual constructive criticism. But today, a lot of that information that's being spun up here by the same mouthpieces that choose to build a rapport and be extremely biased on these boxers is absolutely fucked up. Because you're going to basically put an asterisk, a verbal asterisk, enough to visit outlet after outlet after outlet to say that Teofimo Lopez today, Bill Haney says, oh, he didn't beat nobody. Lomachenko, he wasn't this, he wasn't that. But that's not what majority of the top tier names and the commentators and the analysts was saying leading up to this fight. They wasn't really giving Lopez a chance to go in there and get this shit done. Not only did he get it done, y'all, he made it look easy. Yeah, he had some puffy eyes, but I'm better for him to walk up out of there with puffy eyes than him to just walk up out of there clean like Berlanga. If he would have went in there and freaking finished Vasily Lomachenko in the first round, people would have said, oh, by the way, he had a shoulder injury. It would have been Pacquiao all over again. Oh, his shoulder was messed up. But yet he didn't want a rematch clause because he felt it was going to be an easy go with Teofimo Lopez. I know Bill Haney's been in the game with his son. He even said he's a rookie to the promotion side of the house. He's a businessman in boxing. Maybe that is what was needed today, a bit more education in front of 100 viewers, in hope for him to believe it's not going to be so easy to step up to people's platform and just try to fast talk them and say the same thing all the time. When you have a pause in your delivery, in the response, that means you're thinking. With general conversation, it's cool. I mean, you can fast talk, slick talk, whatever you want to do, man. It's all good. But when you're talking about a specific topic of discussion that's objective, all these hypotheticals that's in there, getting enough people to biasly spin that shit to discredit or place a cloud over a fighter who you want Devin Haney to be praised for if he was in the same position. You would absolutely want your son to be praised, if not equally higher, if he was to go in there and knock out Richard Comey and then go in there and defeat Vasily Lomachenko. Bill Haney knows that shit. He's been around the game. He would absolutely want people to give his son his just due. And anybody who isn't, he will be pulling up on them and saying, you know, what did you not get? We went in there and we basically dominated one of the greatest fighters to ever do it. Top 2 pound for pound. What more can be done? We did the damn thing. So I'm like, if we want to talk about in hindsight, or we want to talk about a prognosticated, you know, type of event, if it ever happened, I'm pretty sure people would have been more than elated if Devin Haney was in Teofimo Lopez's spot. But that's not the case. People, you have to understand how young Devin Haney is. His time is going to come. Seriously. But when people jump on here talking about they want the smoke, that's not necessarily a good way to approach every situation. Because just put it this way, sometimes the smoke is just a pre-warning, okay? It really don't tell you what's internal to the smoke, what is causing the smoke. And when you're walking up to the smoke and the wind shifts and you run into a wall of fire and you run for the water and you realize you might not be able to swim that good, but you just happen to jump into the deep end. No life jacket, no nothing. And you up here grasping, out of breath, looking around, you think the great white is on his way. The current changes this shit because the receipts keep coming and the current changes. And then you get white cap waves and shit. Stage 4. And Mauricio is saying, look, Mauricio is saying on audio that Teofimo Lopez is the ruler. What type of hierarchy do you sit or perceive ruler to be? At the top, right? They're dictating. They're somewhat like the person in charge, to keep it simple. They are the ones who's calling the shots. Those are considered individuals who are in the position of a ruler. The ruler is the overseer. And Mauricio Suleiman may have discrepancies in how he's doing business, but what man in his position doesn't have imperfections? It's imperfections everywhere. But he just happened to, look, Mauricio Suleiman just happened to be making these moves a lot with Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. And it affected the boxing world because, for one, it didn't make any sense to the criteria of the WBC title holders. It just didn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would the top 2 pound for pound guys be the number 1 recipients of this belt? Why not anybody else? You know what I'm saying? That's been carrying the belt much longer. Why did Mauricio seek out these individuals and say, we're going to present it to Deontay Wilder, we're going to present it to Gary Russell, we will present it to this person? Why Saul Canelo Alvarez, who did absolutely nothing at 60, for which he received the belt? He hasn't did shit. Then Vasily gets it, and he vacates the WBC after defeating Luke Campbell. But then Teofimo Lopez defeats Vasily Lomachenko, and then Bill is spinning the narrative to say, where does it say that Teofimo Lopez is a WBC champion? It doesn't have to say anything. We know that Devin Haney is the champion. We understand that. Real talk, Bill. We understand that your son is the champion. Real talk. But if we reflect upon those of you recorded it or whatever, the fight that just happened, that we was all waiting on, if we reflect on that and we see Teofimo Lopez all over with those belts hanging off his freaking body, draped on his shoulder, him holding the belts, I'm gonna tell you like this: you can say everything that you want. A lot of people are gonna identify Teofimo Lopez as the best in the lightweight division right now. They're gonna identify him as a unified champion. They will identify Vasily Lomachenko as the undisputed based off the verbiage for the president of the sanctioning body. Mauricio Suleiman didn't just start this game in that position. He took over a lineage from his father. He knows and understands the controversy that's behind that position. He absolutely does, man. You think Mauricio don't understand the bullshit he's gonna have to deal with and is dealing with? Hold on for a second. He has to sit up here and understand that shit is gonna come every day of the week when he's making decisions, ill-advised decisions the way he is, especially in one of the hottest divisions of lightweight, and the criteria of the belt don't make any sense. First you say it's non-transferable, but yet it comes down that Teofimo Lopez is going to be able to receive the franchise belt if he defeats Lomachenko. You only enhance the prize. You enhance the reward for such a huge fight like this. I get it. And people need to understand, Mauricio Suleiman delegated that decision for that franchise belt to be included in the unification bout, which makes it that much bigger and being on free TV. Now, check this out. Check this out. This is what all the naysayers has to understand. You have to understand, truly, every time that you attempt to discredit Teofimo Lopez's victory, which him and his father did an amazing job at his journey, getting him up to that point with Richard Comey, and then up to, fighting for, right back to back, fighting for the unified titles. Did an amazing job. You have to understand that the demand for Devin Haney to go in here and disperse of Yuriorkis Gamboa and dominate early fashion is mandatory. That's his freaking mandatory. He has to go in there and destroy Gamboa, who already stepped in there with Gervonta Davis. Can he do it? Because he was on recess when they fought, right? My understanding, wasn't Devin Haney on recess when Gervonta Davis stepped in there with Gamboa? He has to go in there and destroy Gamboa in order for all those voices and mouthpieces that's out there rooting for Devin Haney over the performance of Teofimo Lopez, for it to have any type of credibility, people, any type of freaking Wall Street. So we can tune in for Devin Haney Teofimo, because I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of people waiting to see Devin Haney go in here and go 12 rounds with Gamboa. It's a lot of people waiting, because you have to look at the amount of knockdowns that Gervonta Davis had. You have to analyze and critique every layer of that bout. For one, the bigger frame was that Gamboa was injured. He was on one foot. Okay. Now he's supposed to have been healed. He recovered. Everything else, Devin Haney, injury, recovered, surgery and all that. Both of these guys was injured. They going in here to clash. So let's look at it this way. What is going to be beneficial for Devin Haney to step in there with Gamboa? A win? A stoppage? If it is indeed a stoppage, What round should it be in to say it supersedes the performance of Gervonta Davis? And if indeed he's able to stop Gamboa in shorter fashion than Gervonta Davis, will his fans be able to get more fans to tune in to think that he has the potential to go in there and defeat Teofimo Lopez? Will it be enough visual assessment to say, you know what, Devin Haney might go in there and defeat Teofimo Lopez? Because if these two are going to fight at 35, we need Devin Haney to go in there and shine. I'm talking about stop traffic shine. I'm talking about walking in the motherfucking highway, stopping traffic. They say, oh shit, that's Devin Haney. You see what he did to Gamboa? We need that type of performance, because that's basically what Teofimo did to Lomachenko. He made it look easy. Gamboa, Devin Haney has a huge task ahead of him. If he goes in there, I'm going to show you a perfect example. Devin Haney knocked out Mason Menard in 9 rounds. Right? Watch how I spin this shit. Teofimo knocked him out in 1 face first. Didn't nobody talk about that shit because they didn't respect Mason Menard enough to talk about the comparison. No one's talking about that shit. Underscore that motherfucker. I just told you some shit and I don't need audio. Devin Haney took all those rounds to stop Mason Menard, but Teofimo Lopez stopped him in 1 round. So how do you think the grade comparison is going to be with Gamboa compared to Gervonta heading in here November 7th for Devin Haney? He has to go in here and destroy this cat. He has to go in here and let us know that Gamboa is over the hill so people stop talking about it. How are we going to look? How are we going to sit up here and give these fighters credit if all the media outlets are saying Gamboa is washed up, he ain't shit? He you know, his gold medal in 04, it don't mean anything. He was injured here. He looked bad against Crawford. So if you're discrediting Gamboa, how does it elevate Devin Haney's stature as going in there fighting somebody that Gervonta Davis has already defeated? I mean, Gervonta looking at y'all like, I did what I need to do. You know, yeah, he went to the 12th round when I was introduced to my debut in 35, but I still stopped him. I seen it. Look, I seen Gervonta working for the knockout. Now I'm gonna tell you, Gervonta a savage, bro. I seen Gervonta work through the damn middle rounds tired and then pick that shit back up, but still stuck to the savageness and stopped Gamboa. Regardless if he was limp, wounded, he took full advantage and he ate. Gervonta ate. He ate, y'all. Would Devin Haney be able to do that? Would Devin Haney be able to go in there November 7th and eat? I'm talking about savagely eat. And then the post-fight, he like, yeah, they've been talking about me and Teofimo Lopez. You just saw what I did to Gamboa. Gervonta couldn't even do that shit. And that's, you know, he ain't gonna say it, but that's Floyd's boy. That's his cash cow, right? What is going to be the narrative out here on YouTube then? What are y'all going to talk about? Well, he wasn't fully recovered from that injury from Gervonta. You know how long it takes for an Achilles tendon to heal after you tear it or rupture it? It takes quite a while. But with sports medicine and where we at right now, it may have advanced, you know, testing results. It may have improved itself, you know, as far as how they go about turning these fighters around. But the fact that Gamboa Achilles was ruptured on the foot that he explodes off of leaves a question mark to me. A person that ran track, pretty damn good at it. When Achilles hurt and is torn, it takes quite a bit of time to recover. Now, that's nothing to put on Devin Haney, though. I'm telling you, period. Hands down, he has to go in there and finish Gamboa. 21 years old. Y'all gonna keep on barking that Devin Haney is 21 years old and Gamboa is 37 years old. Destroy this cat then. Destroy him. Go in there and leave no ifs, ands about, no compunction whatsoever. Go in there and destroy him. Because that's gonna bring all the energy. It's gonna be like a vortex, a media vortex, people. We're gonna be looking at this shit like, damn, if he stops Gamboa in under 5 or 6 rounds, right? That's half of the fight. Half of the time it took for Gervonta to do it. It's going to bring such energy that people are going to say, we got to see Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. We got to see that shit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's get to talking and make this fight happen. Partial live gate in 2021. PPV. Let's make this shit happen. But Devin Haney needs to go in there and perform. Y'all talking about all roads lead to Devin Haney. Listen, I'm just going to be clear about this shit. Numbers don't lie, right? How many belts does Teofimo have? In how many divisions? How many belts does Devin Haney have? In how many divisions? Y'all always talking that shit. Numbers don't lie, right? That cliche narrative isn't just great for certain people. Numbers don't fucking lie, right? Teofimo Lopez has the belts. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He has all the belts. So numbers don't lie. Devin Haney has 1 belt. You keep talking about all roads lead to him. Listen, I'm gonna be absolutely frank with you. If Teofimo Lopez and his team decides to move up to 140, being that boxing is a business, and separate himself from those who are trying to compete or run with him in the game, 21 years old, 23 years old. This is not about appeasing every fighter that wants to step up. Team Lopez was able to complete the mission in a more adequate time, period. The whole deal in being great is how you move and your journey and everything like that. Of course, you're going to have some controversy. All right. That's what it's all about. But for all these people or voices, mouthpieces, hoes, some of you know you hoes, hoe ass niggas out here talking the same shit. All roads lead through Devin Haney. I mean, what would it take, man? Because I'm not all about all this bitch ass nigga shit, bitch this. Man, we hear that shit all the time. Calling another man a bitch, man, come on, that shit played out. That's like using and done in a sense. If you got to sit up here and call another man bitch and say he's in a dress and all that, that means your mindset is thinking of seeing a man in that setting. Because really, I just didn't grow up. OGs I know never really used that shit. If a motherfucker was that much of a bitch, they wasn't even close enough to an OG to even feel the energy, to learn any type of game. But you got some niggas that deal strictly with bitches. If you deal strictly with bitches and their place is that of a hoe, a side chick, that's how they always going to be considered once they're in your presence. But no way that you can consider Teofimo Lopez going in there to fight for the unified titles to enhance and inject separation, to inject the beginning stages in his career of greatness. It's no way that you can say that man a bitch, Bill. You're trying to dress this man down? You're trying to dress this man down? When you got black celebrities dressing up in Hollywood in dresses? You might need to talk to them. You know more Hollywood cats than I do. But how are you going to say he wearing lipstick and he chose to bitch out? Man, y'all got to stop calling men bitches. I know it's easy term, but it means absolutely nothing. And then, you know, it's according to who you're talking to, black on black. You know, you want to say, oh, bitch ass nigga. Man, that shit don't do nothing to me, bitch ass nigga. Man, come on, dog. You got motherfuckers that's wearing 126 out this bitch. Arms look like goddamn ramen noodles. Going around calling people bitch ass niggas. Now you know when you see a motherfucker in person, you won't say shit. But that's what type of era we in right now. You can get a big mouth small nigga to have these motherfuckers want to be around them. And that's just not the cloth I was cut from. If you got niggas out here that's just continually to spin the narrative as if Teofimo Lopez did absolutely nothing when he defeated Vasily Lomachenko, and you want to say all roads lead through Devin Haney, you need to take a look in the mirror and check your competence meter. Check the temperature. Because y'all say y'all want the smoke, but y'all just want to keep on talking and talking and talking over somebody. That's why, you know, salute the Punch Drunk. That was a damn good interview, impromptu, because Bill did pull up. And, you know, I know a lot of people allow and they look forward to Bill pulling up. And it's good, the work he did with Gary Russell and building up the more notoriety and exposure for Devin Haney leading up to November 7th. I get it, bro. But my ears don't lie either. I have to respect the integrity of some of this narrative. I can't sit up here and have a motherfucker that never stepped in the gym talking the same shit every time and he representing your brand. So if it's all about the smoke, Bill, if it's all about the smoke, today you ran from the smoke and jumped in only to find out you didn't have a life jacket. Punch Drunk absolutely debunked and demolished and decimated your pull-up game. Sometimes you should just hear motherfuckers talk from a distance and just, okay, all right, I hear what they saying, cool, and then keep it moving. But when you get acclimated to pulling up to these dang segways, sometimes the current is just a little bit too much. And what happened when people get burnt? When people run up on a fire, they run to get water, especially if they start burning up. And Bill Haney, you was on fire today. So you ran to the local water hole and jumped in and found out that shit was a well attached to an ocean. And the National Guard was nowhere to be seen. No floating device, no nothing. Because when he presented the receipts and the audio, it was clean, it was to the point, it was a healthy dialogue between you and him, and that's what I like. That's what I like, Bill. Punch Drunk. Superb impromptu interview. Superb. It would be great if those type of dialogues could be had on a regular basis. But unfortunately, there's some confusion, you know, in my part. I'm bewildered. And shout out to IKey TV. If you want anybody to represent your brand there, Bill Haney, IKey TV, he did a damn good job. Shout out to IKey TV. One of the best Devin Haney interviews I've seen out here. Once again, professional and everything, right? But that other nigga, I have no idea what is going on with that. And if it's all about the smoke, I just have this one question. Are y'all looking for rah, 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 volume on the mic, continue to overtalk somebody? Or are you looking for QoS, quality of service? QOC, quality of content. QOF, quality of facts. Is that what you all looking for? Because I don't get that. It's definitely hurting the brand. It's definitely hurting the brand. And for that little nigga to go in here and rah, people say, oh, we have a special guest. Nigga, what? This motherfucker rehearsed the same shit all the time. If y'all want anything to talk about the improprieties, the inconsistencies, the absolute humiliation of them being attached to the Devin Haney brand. We trying to get Devin Haney to potentially face Teofimo Lopez, right? That's what we want. We want that fight to fulminate and implode after he walks out of here with Gamboa. We want the boxing community to clash and come to a head and say, you know what, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, we got to see that fight. Talk it up. We want to get that same energy on here we got from Gary Russell, Batman, and Bill Haney. We want that motherfucking energy. That's good for boxing. The work that Bill Haney put in on that shit, I think, I'll tell you, it changed the game of social media. I'm not saying it's going to be able to be reciprocated. Why? Because you have to have somebody like Bill Haney that's willing to pull up at every time, anytime, morning, afternoon, evening, and get the shit done. I'm going to tell you like this. It's just not everybody that's an intricate role on the team, especially a father figure, is going to put in the time like Bill. It's not going to happen. So if by chance Devin Haney goes in there and destroys Gamboa, it's gonna be a one-way. It's gonna be one-way traffic just a little bit, because Lopez Sr. is not that guy. He's not gonna get on here continuously and go head. You know, Lopez Sr. don't have a Batman. Shout out to Batman, John Page. The amount of hours that he put in, him and Bill going back and forth. Classic. I'm not even gonna bullshit. That shit was a motherfucking classic of energy. The way that shit kept on boiling every day, man. I'm like, shit, we got what we got now. Well, where Batman and Bill at now? And what topic we on? And what's this? What's that? Unfortunate fight didn't happen. I never thought it was gonna happen anyway. Yeah, I spoke on it, but no, that shit was just, it was good for conversation. Shout out to G. Russell. I would have liked to seen that fight with G. Russell and Devin Haney. But when it comes down to it, like I said before, Devin Haney knocked out Mason Menard, and Teofimo did it in shorter fashion, and no one talked about it. But yet, he goes in here and can get the titles in better fashion than Devin Haney, and all they want to talk about is Teofimo Lopez dropped out of a freaking tournament. Look, aren't we graded on the decisions that we make? When we having a conversation with other adults, aren't we graded? Aren't we graded on the decisions that we made in life? Now you got some motherfuckers that love cats that was strictly from the street and got papers on them, and then the other ones love people that have did corporate, you know, held corporate positions, military, you know, did all the other shit that was a little bit cleaner. They have their flavor, right? But aren't we judged as individuals on our words? Isn't the tongue the sword to life and death? So if the tongue is the sword to life and death, why don't we have more people holding people accountable, holding individuals accountable for the bullshit that comes out of their mouth? You just want the energy? You just want somebody to come up here and rah and talk shit? And these motherfuckers are not really linking up credible talking points. They're just biasly putting names out there. Well, I like Devin Haney, so since I'm totally in favor of Devin Haney, I'm a dog out Teofimo Lopez. And that's why, you know, some of these boxing channels are frowned upon with people taking us serious when we want interviews, because some of these channels are extremely biased, and they would dog out the other fighter who's absolutely on the same tier as that fighter. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney is on the same tier. They're in the same division. But right now, Teofimo is a little bit more levitated, because numbers don't lie, people. Numbers don't lie, people. What's good, Rap Star? I had to come back out to my vehicle. I'm in another damn city, man. You know, doing what I do. So man, y'all have to stop this bullshit with dogging my man T.O. out. And you know what? I have nothing against Devin Haney and his father, because the times I done ran into them in person, they all good. But the one time that Bill, when I said, you know, you can say what you want. I don't have 100 motherfuckers tune in, 200, 300. But you check out my catalog, Bill. I've been busting my ass, and I never asked anybody for shit. I went out here and did it on my own, right? And I'm an older cat. It's all good, because I ain't trying to be a young, naive type of dude like I'm trying to fit in with this type of era right here. I'm not. I'm my own person. I'm good. But don't act like I ain't did shit in boxing when it comes to media. Don't act like, stop playing. Stop playing. Look at the catalog. Look at the catalog and look at the catalog. If you are not attending amateur fights, you can't talk to me. If you ain't sit through a whole fight card of 2 different disciplines, 3 different disciplines, you can't fuck with me. If you ain't legitimately covering boxing and MMA thoroughly, equally across the board, stop worrying about numbers, because numbers, that's not what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about that shit. I'm worried about covering the passion for which I love to do. That's it. If the numbers come, the numbers come. If people gonna like your shit, they're gonna like your shit. But I built it on my own. Remember, I built this shit on my own. I didn't build it off anybody else's name. And y'all can talk all you want. You can go from platform to platform to platform and talk this shit. Nigga, do I look like I'm eating Twinkies? It comes to a point when motherfuckers keep on saying, this, you know, we want the smoke, we want this. Do it look like I'm eating Twinkies? Am I drinking sodas? When I see some of these dumb niggas out here running their mouth, I think of them as being somebody's kid, right? And yeah, that's the maturity I have to. Being my age, I look at, okay, that's somebody's kid, they immature. But when they keep on talking shit and continue to reciprocate and recycle the same shit, and they have no respect for boxing or people that's covering boxing, then it gets to a point where you have to look at the individuals who are co-signing these people. And I'm gonna tell you, I look at all that shit, because if I got individuals co-signing an absolutely ID10 Tango, an idiot, without correcting this nigga, then I'm gonna put some of that responsibility on you and saying, you know what, you just want to be in the crowd too. You just want to be in the crowd too. You ain't trying to do shit. But y'all gonna get off my boy T.O. Shout out to Team Lopez, king of the lightweight division. To any look, it's up to Devin Haney to prove otherwise. That's how I look at the sport. I don't just say I want Teofimo to go in there and defeat a Vasily Lomachenko that's not a maximum effort. I know fighters go in there and freaking, you know, go in with injuries and shit like that. I understand that, people. That's just the way it goes when you're competing in a full contact sport. You're not always going to be 100%. That's just fact. Anybody who actually, you know, did minimal training, minimal. Don't come telling me what I haven't did and you haven't boxed professionally and all this other shit. I did some other shit, but I'm not here to say, okay, let me compare to anybody else. No, I'm just saying, when it comes to the boxing, do you want people to respect what you're talking about, or do you want them to just tune into a circus? Because some of this shit is a circus. And then you actually get motherfuckers, if they don't like a certain fighter, let's just say my boy Deontay Wilder. Come to find out, the whole motherfucking people that's on the panel almost have the same energy and criticism of that one fighter. I don't ever want that on my panel. I don't want a whole 9 motherfuckers on my panel agreeing with me that Deontay Wilder is this, that, and the other because they want to appease me. No, I want to have difference of replies, different of opinions. I want them to talk for themselves. I just want to get different input. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. But when you got everybody that's sitting up here, you know, saying that they They wish Deontay Wilder, who said he want to see the bronze bomber want to catch a body, and I hear this motherfucker say, a goofy motherfucker that don't know shit about boxing, and y'all should be very wary of these motherfuckers that's behind their icons and you never seen their face, because they probably fat as shit in a closet, lights off. They got a little lamp, a little night lamp, staying with mommy and daddy, being fed up underneath the door. Hey, here go your lunch. Hey, here go your dinner. Hopefully everything goes okay in there. Is everything okay? I haven't seen you in a week. These motherfuckers that never show their face, but they have empowerment from their voice. And you have these people that actually believe to listen and tune into these motherfuckers. You know what's so crazy? I had this one, I'm not even gonna give his name any shine. He called himself Pulling Up, and he want to talk about MMA. I'm sitting talking to him like I'm talking to you, and this motherfucker, I can hear his keys going. He's asking me questions that he's looking up online, and he's trying to pretend like he know mixed martial arts. Y'all have to stop giving these icon, avatar, screensaver type dudes all this credit when they never show their face. Have a debate face to face, a healthy one where both individuals can talk. You know what I'm saying? Not rehearsing the same shit all the time. There was a nigga that did that to me, and I saw him in person. His energy was different. I would have respected him more if his energy was the same, and we talked with the same energy that he was giving online, and we hashed it out that way. Okay, boom, boom, that's it. But not all damn user friendly when you see a motherfucking person and you've been talking all this shit online, but yet it's all about, okay, I'm all nice. No, if you disrespect the motherfuckers, walk up with the same energy and have a dialogue with the disrespect. Let that person know to his face the same shit you were saying online. Not a, hey, you got your hand up. Hey, dog, it's nice to see you in person. What's good? I ain't know you was gonna be out here. World. I mean, what's good? I mean, you like, huh? You was the same motherfucker disrespecting me online. Back to the task at hand, though. Devin Haney, Teofimo is to work. Devin Haney has priorities. November 7th. He has to go in here, and this is not going to be the Mason Menard shit. Because I know motherfuckers like bringing up the same shit on the resume. Devin Haney resume is okay. Let's be honest. He don't have a Vasily Lomachenko on his resume. He does not. Devin Haney does not have a Vasily Lomachenko on his resume. Devin Haney does not have a champion who he defeated for the WBC title on his resume. So I know the narrative, the receptive, look, the receptive part of it, the retention is very acerbic, right? Very acerbic. You don't want to taste that shit all the time. Like, ugh. They keep on saying he was elevated. I don't like that. But he was. He was elevated. He was promoted. If in one narrative you say, oh, I want the smoke and I want people to keep it 100, but you don't want to keep it 100 because Devin Haney was elevated to the WBC. What the fuck is the, hey, it's no debating that shit. How does all roads lead to Devin Haney because he holds the strap that he was elevated? He has to do something spectacular. That's what boxing is for, people. You have to do something to catch the eye of the fight fans. You have to do it. What do you think the pound for pound list consists of? It's inconsistent with how those individuals are holding that place on the top pound for pound list. It's inconsistent. Let's just say the top four. So look, let's talk about the top four. All right. So Canelo Alvarez. I'm talking about, we exclude Teofimo Lopez defeat of Vasily Lomachenko. So Canelo Alvarez, Vasily Lomachenko, Naoya Inoue, right? And then Terrence Crawford. That's the top four and ring and all that shit, right? It switches up a little bit for the BWA, right? What do all these people have in common? What all these guys have in common? What do they all have in common? They They have championships in multiple divisions. All right. So let's go to number 5. Alexander Usyk has been up there at number 5 for a minute. He unified the cruiserweight division, but he don't have a championship in the heavyweight. Inconsistency. Because we don't know if you have to have multiple divisions to be popular, to be on the pound for pound, or you have to have belts. Which one it's going to be? Because people want to throw Tyson Fury up there because he defeated Deontay Wilder for the WBC belt. But yet, you don't want to give credit for him being in a whole nother division and he heavyweight and he not fighting in cruiserweight and all this other shit. But you have fighters that are on the pound for pound list like Errol Spence that's earned championships in a single division. Errol WBC and IBF, he's on the top pound for pound. He's been up there forever. Why? He was on the top pound for pound list before he fought Sean Porter. How can you be on the pound for pound list just as the IBF champion? Because you have to have some type of individuals that's making these decisions, sitting on the board, at the table, have to look at social media following since that's the era we in. And they have to pick and choose, okay, how popular is Errol? What is the boxing world talking about with Errol Spence? What are they saying? Because he was up there before he defeated Sean Porter. So who was on his resume? Who was on his resume? They have Errol Spence sitting at number 6 all the fucking time, dog. Now they saying, oh, coming off accident, if he go in there and defeat Danny Garcia, who lost to Sean Porter, who Errol Spence defeated for the WBC title, it wasn't vacant, okay? He defeated the champion. Errol Spence sits at number 6, like, and now all of a sudden you say, oh, the main point of direction is to move him above Crawford because so many people are talking about Errol Spence and Crawford. So if he goes in there and defeat Danny Garcia, this is in defense of his unified titles, right? Danny Garcia has no titles. They're saying if he defeats Danny Garcia, which Sean Porter has already did, Keith Thurman has already did, he moves ahead of Terrence Crawford. So where does Teofimo Lopez fit right now? Because it's been an amazing accomplishment for him to pick up the IBF strap and then those other titles, WBA, WBO, franchise, WBC. You know what I'm saying? Where does he rank? No, because we have to get out this narrative like, he ain't as popular. But he defeated the number 2 guy, the placeholder. Because last time I checked, Gennady Golovkin was sitting at number 7, 41-1, had a draw with Canelo Alvarez, and he's sitting at number 7. He's been in the same division. I mean, come on. He lost to Canelo Alvarez. I mean, come on. You had the opportunity in the draw. You didn't get it done. And you go in there for the rematch. You lose. Now you go in here and you defeat some names. Most recently controversial win over Sergey Derevyanchenko, which a lot of us, including myself, thought you lost. But Gennady Golovkin is still on number 7 with an IBF title because they're trying to make a trilogy with Canelo Alvarez sometime in the future. Oh, my bad. Errol Spence is talking about potentially moving up to fight Canelo Alvarez. Don't jump on so quickly and give him that same negative energy I was giving Gary Russell for doing the same thing. Because we know damn well 47 to 60 is a big jump. This is what I'm talking about. Don't get on here talking about the shit. I'm saying inconsistent. Because listen, you know some shit I do purposely sometimes? I digress from a situation and not put as much effort into it like I'm doing right now. Because these individuals today, they love using the same shit all the time. And then I have to turn around and explain to them that parents give their kids different type of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have that command authority and you're able to talk in a monotone voice and your kids listen. But sometime in life, as they continue to grow and mature and become teenagers, you have to raise your voice. But you have some of these kids that look like they was homeschooled from the basement. It wasn't even a finished basement. These motherfuckers are so fucked up. They use the same narrative. They hide behind the avatar, and they want to keep on saying Lopez ain't did shit. I don't like followers, man. I'd rather somebody be absolutely direct, straight up with me, and so we can have a sensible adult conversation and keep all this rah-rah street shit out of it. If you got a family and you up here talking that you ready to give it all up just from a motherfucker online and all this other shit, you dumb as fuck. I'm gonna be honest. You need to go make a confession. Because if you don't give a fuck about your kids and you really want to put that whole energy into somebody that you know, if you really about that shit that you know ain't worth it, you need to self-evaluate yourself. I'm gonna tell you like this. Everybody's gonna be tuned in November 7th. Everybody is gonna be tuned in because you keep talking the same narrative. Devin Haney, Devin Haney, Devin Haney. Everybody's gonna be tuned in just to see the outcome. Just to see the outcome. Because Gervonta Davis, that is his last opponent down here in December. And we already know the backstory between Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. Floyd Mayweather. We already know the history. So much time invested in both fighters since they was youths, adolescents, all that shit in boxing. But Gervonta Davis defeated and knocked out Gamboa. So when it comes down to it, the only thing they want to see Devin Haney do is go in here and perform and finish much better than what we saw with Gervonta Davis, so we can have a talking point, so we can have an underscore to build this Teofimo Lopez fight and Devin Haney if it's to happen. Hold on for a second. Let me get to some of the comments. Lions Hunt, what's good? He said all roads. You know, another thing, you know, you're gonna get people refreshing the same narrative that's out there. But I'm willing to read off some of them if I feel that they're genuine. All roads for undisputed lead through Devin Haney. That's reality. That's facts. Business-wise, we already know Teal is moving up and will avoid the fight. Okay, you can say avoid all you want. Boxing is a business first. So in one narrative, you can't say that you was chasing greatness, Lion Hunt, and then when Teofimo defeats the same guy that you was chasing to begin with, and y'all say, oh, you got Mr. Goofy out here spinning the narrative that Vasily Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney, but yet all of a sudden you was chasing Lomachenko too. Y'all was going the WBC route. Lomachenko ended up defeating Luke Campbell, and then it comes to a point where, well, just give us, let us just get that WBC, please. Let us just get this. Come on, man. So if you was chasing greatness, which was quote unquote Vasily Lomachenko, and Lomachenko was able to get to the prize. I mean, Teofimo was able to get to the prize first and collect the gifts. Then why all of a sudden all you want to use is avoid, avoid, avoid? It's not that easy, bro. Boxing is a business first. Teal and Devin will fight at 140. I hope so, because both of those guys are young in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? 21-year-old Devin Haney has a huge, both of them have a huge landscape, you know, pathway, roadway, whatever you want to say. You know, just like the scope and their optics are huge. It's so broad in the sport of boxing, especially what they've been able to accomplish in their first division. Not many fighters do it. Money Man, he did do something. He got 3 belts. Now go make history. I agree, man. Rap star up here being a moderator. Hey, what I said was true. I just think he got drowned today. I'm not getting on here going through the nigga this, nigga that shit. I've been there. I'm from the South. I heard all that shit. I heard all of it. That shit don't do anything for me. I know who I am. That's it. That's unimportant. The fans ain't gonna make Tio fight. Tio is a grown man. He has to want to fight. Man, he does want to fight. He went in there and fought the top pound for pound guy in the lightweight division, the unified champion. That's who he went and fought. What else needs to be said? He went in there and fought, made no excuses. He went in there and fought the best lightweight in the business. A 33-year-old grown man should not be that obsessed with a 21-year-old boxer. I'm not sure what that means. A 33-year-old grown man obsessed with a 21-year-old boxer. I'm not sure what that is. Who is 33 years old and who is obsessed? Those who are passionate about their sons talk exactly like Bill Lopez Sr. You know what I'm saying? Bill, Haney, Lopez Sr. They both talk passionate about their son. You know what I'm saying? Charles Harris talked passionate about Lolo. There's plenty of father-son tandems out here that talk passionate about their son who's competing in the sport. Of course. You say we need more black fathers. It has nothing to do with black fathers when it comes to the sport of boxing, because not every black father has a son that's black that want to fight and compete in the sport. And not every tandem that's in that particular position that's grown up. You have a parent versus a child, a father, son, mother, daughter, whatever the case may be, that can be on a level where people recognize them, like Lopez and Haney. You don't get that out of families like Harris and Lolo. You don't get that. You know, we've seen plenty of times. Just look at Sugar Ray. I mean, not Sugar Ray, Sugar Shane Mosley. His son, he's okay. And I can go on and on and on about even Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, they did great things in the sport of boxing, but their sons just didn't materialize. They wasn't cut from the same cloth. A little of the DNA strands was kind of shredded a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. D-Ray, what's good? The king at 135 is Teofimo Lopez. Numbers don't lie. So get it in your narrative, digest it, and regurgitate it as that. Right, and the whole WBC giving Devin the belt. I told folks if I was Devin, I would be pissed the hell off. Look, this would have been an opportune time for Team Haney to basically establish a different type of I don't want to say bar, but a level of respect when it comes to doing what's right in boxing. And this is what I mean. If they was going to be elevated to a belt and they thought ahead of time as to what the backlash and criticism would be for them picking up a belt without actually earning it by fighting a champion, then they would have just said, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'd rather fight for it. You know, I'd rather fight for the bacon at least, just like Vasily did with Luke Campbell. Let's fight for the bacon. But no, They was elevated, promoted to the WBC. How difficult is that to understand? They was elevated, people, promoted to the WBC title. If they didn't want it, if they was worried about the backlash and they gave a damn about what people was going to think, don't take it. Don't take it. Don't take the belt. Then you would have set a standard that, you know what? I want to do it the right way. I want people to look at me as doing it the right way. But hey, I'm pretty sure phone calls was made to Floyd. I'm pretty sure phone calls was made, you know, conversation was had between Bill Haney and whoever he wanted to talk to about it, whether it's Mauricio Suleiman and all that shit. But at the end of the day, people, when you put these comments up, and that's a good comment. I'm not talking about you, Michael Johnson. I checked the box on what you said. You know what I'm saying? But when you take a look at who is the proprietor of putting out this information that dilutes Devin Haney's prestige as a WBC title holder, it's Mauricio Suleiman. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's went on record. If he's basically putting Teofimo Lopez as the ruler, then what is Devin Haney? What is Devin Haney? What is it? Anyway, I gotta keep going. 24 Geezy, you have the right to your opinion. I mean, we're gonna you know, go for it. See, that's another thing I don't do. I look at the skill set and all that, but some of you all just attend certain, you know, certain outlets or certain channels, and you just go with the narrative. You just keep on spinning. No, be your own person, be your own man. Speak for yourself. I can't walk up to you and say, man, give me $20. Just because I seen you lose a bet on the channel, you lost a bet. Give me $20 since you're giving up money. I want $20 too. You lost $20 for making a bet that Lomachenko was going to defeat Teofimo Lopez, and it didn't happen, so you lost money. Can I get my $20? Because I thought Teofimo was going to go in there and defeat Lomachenko too. No. You'll say, hell no, I didn't bet you, right? So why just sit up here and spoon feed yourself and say, you know what, let me just spin the same shit this channel is pushing. Let me spin the same fucked up, goddamn incompetent, inept narrative just coming off certain channels that speak the same language about fighters they don't like. I'm gonna tell y'all, whoever, one person don't dictate this channel or whatever. Like I said, you know, check out the catalog, check out the work, check out, you know, what I actually respect about fighters. You ain't, you know, if you're not sitting in an amateur fight, you don't know shit about amateur fights in multi-sports, I don't know what to tell you. If you ain't never been to a Showtime top rank event and covered media, even having media credentials and being there doing it on your own, then I don't even want to hear shit you got to say. You can get on here and do all you want. You can have people tune in all you want, but do they respect you, or they just want to tune in and see a clown? We had a Barn and Bailey circus all the time. They're looking for new members. You know what I'm saying? They want to see motherfuckers jump over through the ring of fire. You know what I'm saying? They want to see some motherfuckers do dumb shit. People like that. They want to be entertained. But the motherfuckers who don't have a gimmick, don't sit up here and treat them any different because I'm not willing to get on here and give a gimmick. That's not the way I'm cut, dog. You know, we talking about combat sports. We talking about combat sports. But co-signing clowns, I don't have time for that shit. When you genuinely try to help a motherfucker and they keep on refuting you, they don't respect it. They don't respect it. How you think I'm gonna check in? I asked to cover your son, and you tell me I have to check in with this clown, and he going behind talking all that shit, and I'm not even saying shit. I just respond to when I responded to. But my brand is my brand. I ain't building my shit off somebody else's name. And if you're gonna get on here and tell half of the story, then it's up to me to tell the whole story. I feel that if you're gonna say I played an intricate role and you supporting him, good. But he don't dictate that flow, the ebb and flow of me. I want him to succeed as much as possible. he and the other cats that's you know, kind of jump on the bandwagon. But check this out though. I'm building this shit on my own. I don't need any. Hey, I'm doing all this shit on my own. My brand, my name. And the WBC is they hate, man. Get out of here with that, man. Nobody ain't repeating that shit, man. Alexander said, I respect what you're saying. Michael said, I don't know, and you don't know if they are racist. Yeah, I'm black, but let's be real. You know, it's a lot of people always want to put race into it. There's no reason why black channels and black people who support media should tune in anymore just because they want to do a count on how many black fighters I support all the time. And this is why I don't feed into it, right? Because every time Deontay Wilder's name come up, who's still one of my favorite fighters, right? You get a lot of my own people criticizing him. So don't BBM stand for something? Black boxers matter? Oh, some black boxers matter. SBBM. Some black boxers matter. Because when I speak of Deontay Wilder, then there's a whole nother, he can't fight, he can't do this, he can't do that. Good, Fury beat him. Fury did not knock out Deontay Wilder. The towel came in. For the illiterates out there, the degenerates, you need to get that in your narrative when you're speaking on it. The towel came in. Mark Breland threw in the towel, and the fight was stopped. For the host of the show to basically allow the panel to continue to reciprocate this narrative without correcting them, then once again, I hold you accountable for being incompetent. And that to control the panel and correct them on talking falsicities that's absolutely untrue. He was still on his feet. And you can say one of the knockdowns was a trip. But then they're going to say it's an excuse. And then when it comes to Devin Haney is more of a pure boxer, right? So of course, with his lineage and who he's been around, they're gonna gravitate more to Devin Haney because of the name. It's up to Bill to build that name. That's what he's supposed to do, as in the business for the promotion and as a father. He's supposed to do that shit. Y'all don't understand. Why would I not want to build my kid up and do the same thing that Bill Haney's doing? He the jack, giving any praise to Teofimo Lopez, just like Floyd did. But yeah, he praised his son. He's really supposed to do that shit. That's not the way I would do it. I will have to give credit where credit is due. And I'm about to tell my son, hey, either you in or out. This is going to be a tough fight. Be smart and think about everything we worked on. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. You can't sit up here and be a father, and then you have some father-son tenants that they don't want to see their kid go to hell and back. When they even get close to hell, they might tell her, hey, this might not be your night. You're taking a lot of punishment. You ain't making no changes. You keep that up, I'm throwing in the towel. You know, some fathers, they just don't, they know their son is not cut that way. He's not built that way. Somehow, some way, the nutrients in the prenatal care was diluted a bit. They didn't get the full protein nutritional value. Heart-wise, they just don't have it. The depth is not there. The reservoir is very minimal. Seriously, man. Couldn't get Loma for the TO fight for Undisputed. Should be after November 7th. Listen, you didn't hear me say one time that I didn't want to see the fight. So I really don't want to hear the naysayers come on here and say, well, you just hating on Devin Haney. That's a clear cliche narrative that's easily used like and duh. I'm not hit. Man, come on, bro. I don't even like explaining myself to motherfuckers who come up here with the same shit. Why would I gotta hate on the Haneys for? Look, I started this media game, right? Being all polite and shit. And I barely even use vulgarity of obscenities on here because I know how to carry on a dialogue without that. But then when you speak to people and they feel that you using $5 words, and they feel that the level of articulation has to be to the point where they have to go to dictionary.com, Webster, or something like that. They start criticizing you. Ignore the fact you have a college degree. You know, you retired 20 years, then brief some of the top brass on real world situations at the Pentagon. They don't want to hear none of that shit. They want you to come over here and put on a show. They want you to come up here and say that you did 5 years. I got papers I did 5 years for what? Well, not paying speeding tickets. All right, you still did time. We good. You still did time. Did you box in there? I got in some fights in there. Okay, cool. We good. Respect him. Tell people about him. Respect him. But motherfucker goddamn got a college degree and shit. Retired military at 37. It's not enough. And it's cool with me. And when I started this media shit, I was doing it respectfully and you know, at a point of education. And, you know, people want to look at it like, oh, they diss. And another thing, you know, if you're going to say a channel is not all that, that's cool, because I don't live for this channel shit. Like, you know, I don't live for that every day. I don't have to have that as a source of income like that. Like, you don't hear me telling people to drop a super chat and all that shit all the time. You barely hear me say, hit the like button. My mentality is, if a person really fucking with you, they will leave you a super chat. Why do you have to keep on saying, hey, make sure you refresh that super chat. Hey, drop that super chat. Come on. If they really fuck with you, they will leave you a super chat off what they like. The channels that I leave super chats to, that means my mind is stimulated and I show up for a reason. Boom. That's all I'm saying. For a minute, as a champion narrative, TL is unified, whether we like it or not. We don't make the rules. Loma gave up the belt. There's no getting around that. Haney got the real belt, and that's go back to Carlos, and that goes back to Carlos Ortiz. It don't matter who it goes back to. What I need for people to understand is, regardless of who gave up what, it don't matter anymore, because we already know what's public record. Public record was Lomachenko fought Campbell for the WBC title for the vacant. The same time he fought Gary Russell Jr. for the vacant WBO, right? WBA, WBO. It was vacant. Don't nobody talk about that except Lomachenko supposedly went in there and had an easy go with Gary Russell Jr. No, not at all. He won via split decision, and they would have counted that knockdown. It would have been a whole different story. Russell would have gave Lomachenko his second straight defeat. But yet, once again, the narrative is, oh, he came off and defeated Lomachenko. Like, again, I'm guilty of being passive aggressive by choice, because sometimes I want a motherfucker to do their homework. How many losses did Alito have? The motherfucker, the shit was for the vacant. I don't like spinning shit like this. You know, it's close to Halloween. I don't like cooking the witch's brew. But he fought Alito for a vacant title because Alito didn't have no discipline at the time. How many fucking losses did Alito have? But you got these motherfuckers up here keep on talking about Vasily Lomachenko. He fought for a professional title in his second professional fight. He fought for a world title in his second professional fight. He didn't get it done, though. And Alito had umpteen amount of losses, but yet y'all want to say the man is great and shit. He goes in there and he wins split decision with Gary Russell for the vacant title. Two straight fights for the vacant. The third, Luke Campbell for the vacant. Man, come on, y'all. Y'all gonna dog out Terrence Crawford the same way? How did he get the belts? But y'all want to say, well, if they fought for the vacant, that's let's leave that alone. But let's elevate the point that Devin Haney was basically promoted to WBC. What holds more weight to the scales? Devin Haney being elevated and never stepping in there with the champion, or actually facing another opposition across from you to compete that night for the title? What is a higher standard of respectability? We already know what it is. Challenging for the freaking title. Challenging. Y'all can sugarcoat this all you want. Man, like I said before, it's always you know, smoke, this and this. But people don't want the smoke. They don't want to. They want to hear false as disingenuous narratives just to support a certain fighter, when the respect should be split it down, dichotomize it, boom, as least biased as possible, and give them the pros and cons on both sides. That's what you need to do. Not all this other bullshit that's going on. Lomachenko fought Salido for a vacant title, Gary Russell for a vacant title, Luke Campbell for a vacant title, and none of y'all ain't saying shit. So you're supposed to overlook that Devin Haney was promoted to WBC? But y'all get on here and say the same shit. Well, all roads lead to Devin Haney. Maybe so, if you grew up in boxing like I did and you want to say, okay, the WBC. But check this out. Then the WBC meant something. Now the changing of scripture. Because every time you go to church, the preacher don't preach about the same shit. And why do you go there and you have the feeling that, oh man, this is something that's on my heart. This is heavy on my heart. You feel like you're feeling some type of connection there, some spiritual connection. Why don't you feel a spiritual connection when it comes to identifying how Devin Haney got the belt? The last time I checked, I'm on my phone, so I don't have time to be pulling up receipts. Last time I saying, you know, he was up there saying Lomachenko was freaking small, and he was dropping all these tweets back to back. And then you have the channels that is up here that are dog the opposition out to support their fighters. But yet, if their fighter that they're supporting defeat the same opposition that they were saying that wasn't shit and hasn't fought anybody on their resume, how is that not contradicted? That's hypocrisy at its best. How can you sit up here and dog out the fighter? That's not the way media is supposed to be. You're dogging out somebody who you are picking to elevate your fighter. So you want him to go in there and defeat Gamboa. But yet before that, Gamboa was washed up. He was trash. He ain't did shit. Crawford fucked him up. Gervonta fucked him up. Now Haney's about to go in there and fuck him up again. So if you dogging out and then you turn around and try to elevate and praise just because now you want to elevate the opposition that your fighter stepped. No, because he go in there, people gonna say, well, hey, look at what they were saying. They were saying he wasn't shit to begin with. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't shit to begin with. He has already been this, and this, and that. He's been on the canvas plenty of times. So is Devin Haney really going to get any credit for going in there defeating Gamboa? The whole point is how he look if he goes in there and stop him. Because I'm going to tell you, this is no decision. There's no fucking decision. The Haneys know there's no decision with Gamboa. There's no fucking decision. That's not even a rule. That's not even going to be any type of direction of the result that they want to go in there and go the distance with Gamboa. No way in hell that that's not even in the motherfucking plan. He has to go in there and stop Gamboa, period. Whether it's with the left or the repaired right. I really hope he's at 100% with the shoulder. Like I said, I'm not a facetious or a grimy nigga that sit up here and just because a fighter is not in my group of favorites, I'm gonna wish them bad. That's not grown man shit. That's bullshit. But Haney has a mandatory to go in there and knock out Gamboa, and he needs to do it before the 12th round. and give or take, let's reduce rounds from that limit and say he needs to get a knockdown before the 5th. He needs to get a knockdown before the 5th and make the fight even that much suspenseful, and then knock him out. And when he knock him out, he need to stand over him like how Muhammad Ali did, the listing. He need to knock his ass out, clean out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He needs to go in there and knock Gamboa, have a knockdown in the early rounds of the fight, and then go in there and finish him. Not round 11, not round 10, around 8 or 9. But this is going to be carefully watched by everybody to say, you know what, how does it compare to Gervonta? How does it compare to Gervonta? How does it compare to Gervonta? That's all they're going to do. Even though Haney and Gervonta is not in the same on the same roster as future fights as we're looking at, we can say this. It's going to be people comparing the competition like they always do. They're going to compare the competition. But like I said before, no one was comparing Mason Menard. No one gave Teofimo any credit for blasting through Mason Menard in the first round. Destroyed him. But yet, if you saying you was chasing greatness, Teofimo ducked the WBC tournament. You all stayed in there. For whatever reason, you didn't want to go a different route. Where I'm from, sometimes you have to abandon one selective choice, and then you have to go a different route to achieve somewhat similar success to get you to the point for which you're trying to accomplish. That happens all the time. You just can't stay. They say don't become complacent. In order for you to be a leader, you have to sometimes make changes, revisions, and going about a different route. That's it. So y'all chose to stay in the WBC tournament, which if you heard me interview the manager, split team management, David McWhorter, he said that they chose to go the IBF route. The WBC tournament would have taken too long. And to me, that's logical thinking. It would have taken too long for them to stay in the WBC tournament. But yet you have people say, oh, it would have been harder. How do you know it would have been harder? Look at the names in the tournament. Outside of Teofimo Lopez, who would have been in there? Devin Haney would have been picked to win the tournament. But the shit it just crumbled, fragmented, gone. Who would have won the tournament? Tell me that. Who, outside of Teofimo Lopez being out, who was favored to win? Devin Haney, right? So go ahead and reap the fruits of your labor and take what you got as an end result. But look what Teofimo was able to accomplish. The entire basket of fruit. Devin Haney was able to get an apple. That's real. You know it's real. Please, even with the franchise belt may have been, some, shit around the edges. Motherfucking a carrot. You put a carrot in a fruit basket. Put a carrot and some cucumbers and shit in the fruit basket. But dude, he picked up the IBF and the WBA and WBO. I don't give a fuck what Floyd Mayweather talking about. And you notice I haven't really said too much because that's just straight up hate. That's straight up hate. Floyd had a lot of energy and he was mad. And you know what? That's bullshit to him to go in there and act like after Teofimo said put some respect on Floyd's name, but yet Floyd didn't care and he went up there and said what he said. Really, Teofimo Lopez is the IBF champion and the WBO champion. Come on, bro. Come on, man. How you going to discredit the man's victory when you want the same for Gervonta Davis? You want the same for Gervonta Davis. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Not too many times you can see shit play out in person. And I don't know if I'm the only one that was in there that day, but I knew it. My sight survey, my spider senses, I knew it. Floyd stepped up there when he was down here for Gervonta Gamboa. I knew when he left the motherfucking weigh-in, shit was about to pop off. Why are you gonna leave the weigh-in before Gervonta shows up? And that's your boy. He was in the same proximity for this motherfucking live media, this virtual live media. He was there and he was talking the whole time. He didn't even really give enough airplay for Gervonta. He's over there talking about him. And then he want to devalue the results and the performance of Teofimo Lopez. Kano Local Sports in the building. What's good, man? Everything boxing and sports in the building. Salute. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Tio is the real champ, period. He earned it. Now it's up to Devin to show and earn it. It is, man, and that's exactly. I link up with that. Coming from that brother, I understand it. Respectfully, I respect that. Because now it's up to Devin to show and earn it. What's so hard about believing that shit? What's so hard about putting shit up here without saying, well, so-and-so is racist. Black fighters don't get the opportunity, but Florida's the highest grossing, you know what I'm saying, athlete. Black fighters don't get the opportunity across the board. The Mexicans probably saying the same thing. Russians, New Zealand, Aussies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. Haney will not get credit. Really doesn't deserve any. They gotta finish Gamboa, period. After they go crazy with the TO and talk. One thing I appreciate and love about when the best fight the best is the fact that it actually happens. As much as we wanted Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, it's not even in my topic conversation. But you know, I believe Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney can happen. He goes in here and make work of Gamboa. See, me, I like to see a fight like that because it's educational. I want to see, listen, if they fight each other at 35 in their first division where they earn championships, come on, man. That's only going to build them potentially having a rivalry at 140, 47, and if they go up to 54. Y'all can't see the bow tie? That shit is dressing up real nice. Just say they get it done, man. Somebody take a loss. They fight each other again. We've seen rematches where the person who took a loss gained that win back because that's how boxing is. It's no template to boxing, but it has to happen, people. We have to look. The shit has changed with boxing fans. Devin Haney has to go in there and burn the place down. Not smoke it out. Devin Haney has to burn the motherfucker down. Incoming! Just like we call CAS. You know what CAS is in freaking military? When we in combat, close air support. Incoming. Air to ground. Incoming. Pushing. You see them birds coming in on the distance pushing, and you see that little small shit drop off of the, you know, beneath the damn bird. They drop their ammunition. Yeah, he has to go in there and burn the place down, and Gamboa be the casualty. And then the proper talks can be adjusted for Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, because that's what it's going to come down to. That's what it's going to come down to. No struggle. You know, no excuses. Both fighters supposed to be healthy. Let's see it happen. I'm not going to sit up here and dog Devin Haney out because I support Teofimo Lopez. It's not going to happen. It's not the way I do business. But y'all need to stop coming saying y'all want the smoke and then get mad when people are not on the same bag. Don't come in here questioning my blackness. And I'm from the deep South. I don't have shit to prove. What I wake up to is what I know. Black, black, and black. But also I'm a man at the beginning and the end of the day, and I don't care. It can be 50 channels that support the same black fighter. That don't mean I have to sit up here and fall in line. Leaders don't do that shit. Leaders don't fall in line and just follow motherfuckers. Okay, we want to do this next. Okay. Before you know it, y'all done march yourself into a swamp. Connor said this is real simple. Arguing about stuff they have no control of. Teofimo won the fight, and there is his position to make whatever moves he wants. Exactly, man. Why can't the man make the moves? They already did it. They moved to the IBF, smart. They made it to Lomachenko, smart. And for what I'm hearing, they did 4 million. You talk about 4 million views? What? So on top of winning the titles, he's proven. I gotta say he, and Vasily Lomachenko, proven that they can do numbers. Proven that they can do numbers. They've proven that shit, y'all. Just like they love talking about Anthony Joshua and Klitschko. Klitschko helped sell out Wembley. Anthony Joshua and Klitschko, more so Klitschko, because then nobody know who the fuck Anthony Joshua is. They both combined help make that happen. Devin Haney needs to prove that same. Seriously. And even though, you know, Devin Haney hasn't been in the top pound for pound list, if him and Teofimo Lopez fights, depending how the promo builds everything up and the energy behind it, you all have to understand, including Bill, you saying that Teofimo's he took the bitch ride, he wore lipstick and dress and all this, but yet this is the same fight y'all want. Punch Drunk said send the term sheet. If we want to do Gary Russell and freaking Devin Haney all over again, once he come in here, defeat Gamboa, start getting on the phone and making the damn contractual talks worthwhile, because you know Teofimo's gonna get paid one way or the other, and y'all gonna be the B side. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't come in here putting Gamboa with no belts as if y'all stock rises. Your stock stays the same. What's gonna have to happen is exactly what I just said. You have to promote this fight and not sit up here saying that Teofimo's a bitch. He wasn't listed. He took the bitch route. Then it's gonna get to a point where, you know what? You know how boxing gets, just like Floyd. Whether we should give you a fight, why don't we go fight Ryan Garcia? Get him the shot. He ain't out here calling us a bitch. It's something about feels that demasculinity or demasculizing through verbal insults is what affects a man to submit or surrender their respect. You know what I'm saying? As a man, how they stand up for themselves. A lot of people tend to call other men a bitch. And in this particular case, if you want the fight, you need to start kind of looking at the fact you don't have to build up Teofimo Lopez, but at least give the man credit for going in there winning the titles. At least give him credit for being a future opposition for Devin Haney if he goes in here and defeat Gamboa. Because you want the best Teofimo Lopez. You don't want somebody like myself to come up here and say, well, you said Teo was a bitch. He was wearing lipstick. He bitched up. So now you have to go up here and turn around and say some good, kind words. Now that's being fake. Y'all can't continue to dog out every future opponent just to get energy. But now Teofimo Lopez, at this point in time, he's making the calls. He's earned the straps. He's running shit. Yes, he earned it. Takeover. He took over the lightweight division. I don't know how many people, how many moons it's going to take for y'all to understand that the man is the lightweight king. I know how they used to say that the WBC is the coveted world title. I get it. But Mauricio Suleiman is changing the scripture. He's changing how the WBC super title is merited in the sanctioning body with the franchise belt. What is the merit behind it? What is the value? You know, what is this all about? What is the appraisal on the title that Devin Haney has right now? What is the appraisal that you give the title when Mauricio Suleiman is basically out here saying that Teofimo Lopez is the ruler of the lightweight division? What is the appraising value? If you don't know the appraising value or you choose to ignore it, don't come on my channel and be mad about what I'm saying about Devin Haney being promoted to the WBC title. And shout out to Everything Boxing, man. We made a bet. It is what it is. You didn't see me go up here popping off and doing all this up. Much respect to you, brother. Thanks for being a stand-up cat. Joe Jack. Top rank avoids black fighters versus non-black fighters. I'm gonna tell you like this with Top Rank. If some type of results or paperwork, spreadsheet validates that, okay. That's not my concern. I'm gonna tell you some of the best media that I've ever did, making phone calls about that I ever did, was with Top Rank. Some of the best media I've ever did was with Top Rank. You want to talk about being in media heaven? Top Rank. That's just me. I'm just keeping it 100. The way that people talk to you, the whole aura, the ambience of fight week, the way the fighters come into the host hotel and communicate with the media, superb. You know, I have the meeting of Teofimo Lopez and Richard Comey before they even fought, when they was talking in the hotel lobby. Richard Comey was celebrating, you know, Guyana, you know, they was playing their music, he was dancing, having a good time, and then Teofimo was right there, you know, they both fight on the same night, but they was embracing, showing respect to one another. Teofimo liked the guy, and you heard Lopez Sr. say, hey, my son actually liked Richard Comey, you see what he did to him. That right there is enough for me. It was no vulgarity. You know, I know a lot of people don't like Lopez Sr. because he's outspoken. Guess what? He should be outspoken. Bill Haney's outspoken. There's plenty of fathers out here who are outspoken. Why are y'all sitting up here latching on and saying, well, Lopez Sr., he just says too much. Come on, man. Both of these fathers are outspoken. Angel Garcia is outspoken. But respect on levels of the fathers who are basically adequately, or how you put it, holding down their position correctly. I would give more credit to Lopez Sr. and Bill Haney for what they're doing for their kids. As far as training, you know what I'm saying? Everything that's going along with their business and raising their fighter, they're doing a damn good job with these young warriors. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it clear. I see you in person. It's love, because you know, I'm looking at, motherfucker, I'm looking at you possibly have a family and everything, and you appreciate it and you respect the fact that you have a family, and that's the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at you. But you come on some dumb shit, man, I wouldn't advise it. That's not what it's about. To be honest, I really don't have time for it myself. Michael said, Connell, that's what I've been trying to tell this dude. I'm ready for the next big fight. I agree. That's the fact. Teofimo is outgrowing 135. I don't see him making 35 too much longer, but folks pass by that. Well, to speak of the weight difference, they was talking about that, like, you know, the bottom half of 2018. And, you know, he was shaking out pretty late. But, you know, like Lopez Sr. said, that, you know, he had an easy weight cut. He was eating steak leading up to the fight. I mean, he had one amazing weight cut this fight. He had one amazing weight cut for this fight with Lomachenko. So, you know, higher in nutrition, with a bigger purse, being able to addition your team with higher end individuals, more qualified individuals, especially nutritionists, is probably more easier for Teofimo to make the weight. But his dad did in fact say that they had plans to abandon the 35 division long time ago because of weight and all that. We had a plan to get a title at 135, and we're going to move up to 140. That's what they said a long time ago, back in 2019. This ain't no new shit. This ain't no motherfucking new shit here. Nobody ain't running away from Devin Haney. Nobody is running away from Devin Haney named Teofimo Lopez. Nobody. Colonel Alatio's mouth, he said he can sew your settlement is out the window. Winner gets Tank Davis, who is here Tank Davis when Lopez beat Loma. Winner gets Tank Davis, who was Tank Davis when Lopez beat Loma. Okay, but if he chooses to move to 140 or fight for a title, there he can improve his career. I believe that's absolutely. He moved up to 140. Of course, man. If he's able to fight for the unified titles, win, man, come on, man. A 2-division unified champion, man, come on. That's crazy, man. What are you trying to do here? You're trying to be great. What does great consist of on a pound-for-pound list? Multiple variables of achievements. One is multiple division champions. People up there saying, well, I know I was talking on somebody else's platform, and I was saying, how do you see Lomachenko as being great? And the first names they want to mention are the undefeated fighters, right? So which one is it going to be? I look at it like, in order to consider a fighter great, you have to look at the opposition for which he fought that is considered great, right? Or then they're going to say, well, they had 3 or 4 divisions as a champion. And then you get some people say, well, who did they fight to get those belts? And I'm saying the same thing. Lomachenko fought for 3 vacant titles. And then they want to put Nicholas Walters over there, who hasn't fought since Lomachenko. They want to put Gary Russell, who had more experience than Lomachenko, but Lomachenko, check it out. Lomachenko fought in the Olympics as a grown fucking man. As a grown fucking man. He was over there as a grown man fighting in the Olympics. 2 tours. Promised a title shot before he even turned professional. Failed at it in his 2nd professional. Earned it. Now people want to say, oh, he was able to earn a world title in his 3rd professional fight. Okay. Okay. What's next? It's not like Linares has never been stopped before now. I don't know what they having over here, but it's a fine women walking around this kid. They must got something going on. I see you, shawty. But anyway, back to the real of it all is that it's their career, so all they can do is so they choose. Yeah, it should be that simple of them choosing what they want to do, but people don't see it as that. I hear you, Kano. I hear you. Kano, it's a duck. But business-wise, Teal honestly should move up to try to get the undisputed winner at 40 and get a Haney. I really don't agree and link up with this duck master shit. You know, it's ducking has criteria to it. And if Vasily Lomachenko was considered the top pound for pound, how difficult is it for you all to understand that Teofimo Lopez defeated, check this out, frame it. Teofimo Lopez defeated the only lightweight champion on the pound for pound list. Only one. So how's Devin Haney a duck again? I hear the same motherfuckers say the same shit all the time. But the lightweight that's on the pound for pound list, the only one was Vasily Lomachenko, and Teofimo defeated him. So how is fighting Devin Haney a duck? Not fighting Devin Haney before 140 is a duck. Come on, man. Everything about to say, niggas don't even try to come at me like that no more, because they know I move to my own beat. just because everybody else saying some shit don't mean I'm gonna go with the narrative. It ain't legit. I respect that, man. And like I said, that's why I pretty much support certain freaking boxing channels. Committed wise. But y'all should stop falling behind the same narrative, because when it comes down to it, we just have to wait till this fight play out November 7th, and then we have to come back full circle, talk it out on social media, talk it up in a good, healthy way. I know it's going to be others that's out here talk negative. They don't respect boxing. Y'all should respect what they have to say. You have to understand and identify the ones that want a reality show. And that's one thing, everything boxing and sports says. Keon say, here go talking this boxing again. He says it's not a reality show. And see what he said, that I totally get. I'm not here to put on a reality show. But a lot of young cats that tune in behind these avatars, they want a reality show. And a lot of shit they saying is fucking inconsistent. Listen, if you're trying to break down something I'm saying, right, and you're not giving me the resolution, or let's go deeper than that. What is the deductive reason? It's inductive and deductive. What is the deductive reason? That means putting all the evidence together and coming up with a solution, right? But if you're gonna say, okay, well, we want to talk about this specific fighter and why I consider them not to be great, Vasily Lomachenko, and all you're saying is, well, who is your best fighter? And my best fighter is this person. I said Canelo right now, okay, in the business right now. They say, well, by your criteria, this and this don't add up. Listen, it's always going to be that way if you don't want to see a person win, if you don't want people to be right. Just like I speak to some of these, they never answer your questions. They would just sit up here and keep asking another question, another question, another question. They never do a Q&A. I want them to do an A and Q. Answer the question. So you can't respect them. Because a lot of these cats, they just sit behind them and they got their laptops, they got all these tabs open up, and they up here looking up information, and they continue to just ask you questions as they reading shit off. I'm gonna tell you, if someone never shows their face, and once again, everything boxing and sports, shows his face, and he talks boxing, knowledgeable of the game, him and MTG and other people go up there. I like a person to better show their face and talk boxing rather than hide behind the screen all the time, disappearing, researching shit, coming back. I'd rather have a dialogue, because if you studied your shit, you'll be able to have a dialogue. Boom, 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 spin that shit off. That's my respect. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. Everybody is somewhat of a genius if they know how to maneuver themselves and look up put in the right inquiries into the search engines to get the reply that they're looking for. Everybody can be a damn sugar Burt. Burt Sugar. Everybody be a Burt Sugar. Teddy Atlas. If you're going to put in search inquiries all day long behind the avatar and let other people cook on the panel, and then you chime in, well, didn't so-and-so do this? Man, you haven't been on here for 10 minutes already. This motherfucker looking up damn answers and then coming back on the panel like they're a genius. And motherfuckers respect that shit. No, show your face and have a dialogue. Because look, people got good at this shit. They'll be talking into the mic while they're looking up shit. Boom, 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 boom. They be putting in goddamn search inquiries. And then they be reading shit, coming up with bits and pieces, little nuggets. They have a debate. And they feel that having a debate behind the avatar proves that they know boxing. I don't consider no one person the A1 level at boxing. There's some media outlets out here, some channels that I respect as knowing they shit. But to say you number one is such a depth of field for boxing knowledge. It's crazy. It's on a whole nother level. Very good show, very authentic. Thanks for sure the work. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Those of you Lion Hunt everybody come to local sports, everything boxing and sports. Michael, all of you that tuned in, listen, my channel is not connected to any other face or name all the time. So, you know, you bringing up a certain individual all the time, you can leave that alone. That don't affect me. I just want you to support what I'm out here doing. Like, you know, driving up to where I'm at right now, 7 hours, going to support. I'm not even gonna say his name, but I give you, you know, the exclusives tomorrow. That's what I do. I drove 12 hours up to Baltimore to see Tank Davis fall. I drove up there to Texas to see Errol Spence fight. When he knocked out freaking Carlos Ocampo in 1 round, I was like, God damn, Errol, I want some reimbursement. When Errol was walking back to the dressing room, I said, Errol, hey, EJ, bro. Me and my son drove, man, come on, man, look. 1 round after seeing Javier Fortuna go through theatrics and shit, like he was spazzing out and having a heart attack, and then they took him outside the arena, he was good because Adrian Granados was giving him the business. Bro, you got to put in work, man. It ain't no competition out this motherfucker. Because, listen, I know there's some cats on here that talk about boxing great. But to operate a camera, take steals, do videos, drive to people's gyms, show respect, show that you do more than being behind the screen, to me, that warrants a check in the box for respect. Not everybody does it, but you got cats out here that actually show up, train. You know, you got Colonel Local Sports that knows umpteen damn near boxes that you wouldn't even think of that he knows them. I like the network. If I drop my email in the private chat, believe me, it's the network. That's it, the network. And I haven't forgot about you, everything boxing sports. I've just been trying to make some phone calls, so the information that I pass on to you is no bullshit. Because what I try to do is take what you gave me and ask them about what they had going on at the moment, to exclude your concerns about. We'll talk about it. But I wanted to see, can they cut all that and get the shit for a cheaper price? That's what it is. So I'm not going to go give you some half-ass shit and say, man, you know, man, so-and-so turned me on to this, and it was damn near the same as me going online. Nah, I'm trying to give you some shit that's worth it, a diamond, and, you know, so everybody that, you know, can benefit it and make sure it's certified. You know what I'm saying? It's official. But I definitely touch bases with you on that, let you know what's popping. But people, I'm gonna get back in here, man. And like I said before, tomorrow, tune in. I think you'll be happy with who I came up here to see. It's always about the network. Y'all remember that. The views are okay. I appreciate the donation by everything boxing and sports. Appreciate you, bro. But for me, it's all about the field work. Serious. If you ain't seen nobody get their hands wrapped, you can't tell me, you know, the regulation for gauze and motherfucking duct tape and the whole procedure to get your hands, boxers to get their hands wrapped and gloved, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. If you ain't never sat there and watched the whole damn fight card, on the amateur level at least, stop perpetrating and stop going in here dogging fighters out. If you haven't been in there to spar one time, if you not even put on some headgear, put on some, man, come on, just lace up some gloves and see how it feels to get popped in the body of the head, man. It'll wake you up in a different way. But y'all know what it is, man. I got to get up out of here. Stay tuned for tomorrow, Sunday. Big shit popping. It's going to be real big. And this is my first time up in this footprint right here. But, you know, that's how it is. Boxing started to, you know, the engine started to turn, and it's about to get back. And, you know, I look forward to showing up to some of these fights like I'm doing. So I hope to get the interviews that I want. You know, also check out some of these fighters that's on deck. And everybody who tuned in today, appreciate it. Always, one love to you. Be safe out there. World Combat Sports. I'm out.